The deafening silence after a narcissist cuts contact can feel more painful than any argument or confrontation ever could. One day you're part of their world, and the next it's as if you never existed. This abrupt disappearance leaves you with countless questions, endless confusion, and a pain that seems impossible to describe. Today, we're going to unpack exactly what's happening behind this cruel silence and why narcissists vanish without warning. Understanding the sudden silence. When a narcissist stops all communication, it's not a random occurrence. This calculated move is part of a larger pattern that repeats itself throughout their relationships. The silence isn't about you, despite what your mind might be telling you during those sleepless nights. It's a strategic component of their behavioral blueprint. The relationship you thought was real was actually built on a foundation designed to serve one person, the narcissist. Every phase, from the initial excitement to the gradual decline, follows a predictable pattern. The sudden silence represents a specific stage in this cycle where you're no longer serving your primary function in their world. The banking system, how narcissists view relationships. Think of narcissistic relationships like a banking system. During the relationship, the narcissist makes systematic investments in your emotional dependency. They study your vulnerabilities, identify your needs, and carefully craft responses that create attachment. This isn't love, it's strategic engineering. By the time they go silent, they've already deposited enough emotional manipulation into your system to ensure you'll remain accessible. They've created such strong bonds of confusion and attachment that they feel confident walking away. In their mind, you're not going anywhere. You're stored, preserved, and available for future use. This is why the silence feels so complete. They're not worried about losing you because they've already done the groundwork to ensure you'll be there when they decide they need you again. The silence is their confidence showing. What happens during the silent period? While you're experiencing emotional devastation, analyzing every conversation and questioning your worth, the narcissist is engaged in entirely different activities. Understanding what they're actually doing during this time can help you see the situation more clearly. First, they're focusing intensely on new sources of validation. Whether this is a new romantic interest, renewed attention on an old connection, or pursuit of some new image they want to project, their energy is completely redirected. This explains the totality of their silence. They can only focus on one project at a time, and right now, that project isn't you. They're also reinforcing their narrative about the relationship's end. To mutual acquaintances, family members, and especially to any new interests, they're reshaping the story. In their version, you're likely portrayed as unstable, demanding, or problematic. This serves multiple purposes. It prevents you from exposing the truth, it makes them appear as the victim, and it creates sympathy that bonds others to them. During this time, they may be taking inventory of what they gained from your relationship. Did they improve their social status? Did they acquire resources or opportunities? Did they learn new skills or adopt characteristics they admired in you? The narcissist isn't reflecting on emotional memories. They're calculating the transaction's net gain. The strategic nature of silence. The silence itself is a tool. It serves several tactical purposes in the narcissist's playbook. First, it's a punishment. Whether you ended the relationship or they did, the silence communicates that you've lost something valuable. It's designed to make you feel the absence, creating a void that only they can fill. Second, the silence is a test. How will you respond? Will you reach out repeatedly, demonstrating that you're still under their influence? Will you move on quickly, suggesting they need to adjust their strategy? Every piece of information about your behavior during this silence gets filed away for future use. Third, silence creates mystery and longing. The human brain hates unanswered questions. We're wired to seek closure and understanding. By providing none, the narcissist ensures that your mind stays occupied with thoughts of them, effectively maintaining their presence in your life, even through their absence. The inevitable return, understanding the Hoover. The term hoovering describes when a narcissist attempts to suck you back into their orbit. This isn't a question of if, but when. Understanding why they return helps you prepare for it and hopefully resist it. They return when their current situation isn't providing adequate validation. Maybe the new relationship isn't as easy to control. Perhaps they're facing challenges that require the specific type of support you used to provide. Whatever the reason, when their supply runs low, they start looking backward. They return when they perceive you're moving forward. The moment you start rebuilding your life, showing signs of happiness or connecting with someone new, you become interesting again. This isn't because they want you to be happy, it's because they need to reassert control. Your independence threatens the narrative they've constructed. Financial changes in your life can trigger a return. A new job, an inheritance, or any improved circumstances make you valuable in new ways. The narcissist monitors these changes, often through mutual connections or social media, and times their return accordingly. Major life events also prompt hoovering. Holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, or difficult times create emotional vulnerability. The narcissist knows these moments make you more susceptible to their approach. They'll appear with perfect timing, seeming to care exactly when you're most likely to accept them back. The seasonal pattern. There's often a seasonal element to narcissistic hoovering. Winter holidays bring expectations of connection and celebration. The narcissist may suddenly appear, not because they've transformed, but because they need a place to belong during this time. Similarly, summer vacations or warm weather activities might prompt contact if you have resources they want to access. Life transitions are particularly vulnerable times. If they're between relationships, between jobs, or between living situations, you become a convenient bridge. This transitional hoovering is especially painful because once they secure their next situation, they'll disappear again just as abruptly. The control check-in. Sometimes the hoovering is subtle, a simple text message, a like on social media, or a message through a mutual friend. These aren't genuine attempts to reconnect, they're control checks. The narcissist is testing whether you're still responsive, still accessible, still under their influence. Your response to these small gestures provides them with valuable information. A quick reply tells them you're still available. A neutral response suggests you're healing, but not completely free. No response might trigger a more aggressive hoovering attempt, or might signal to them that you're truly gone, at which point they'll often redirect their energy elsewhere. Breaking the pattern, your path forward. Understanding why narcissists go silent is only valuable if it helps you move forward. The knowledge should empower you, not keep you trapped in analysis. The silence, as painful as it is, represents an opportunity. It's a chance to reclaim your life, rebuild your identity, and establish boundaries that protect your future. The first step is accepting that closure won't come from them. You're waiting for an explanation that makes sense, an apology that acknowledges the pain, or at least a conversation that provides clarity. None of these will arrive. The narcissist cannot provide what they don't possess. Genuine accountability and emotional honesty. Create your own closure. Write the letter you'll never send. Say everything you need to say to an empty chair. Talk to a therapist who understands narcissistic abuse. Give yourself permission to close this chapter without their participation. Closure is something you grant yourself, not something they give you. Rebuilding after the silence. The silence has created space in your life. Initially, this space feels like a wound, but gradually it becomes an opportunity. Use this time to reconnect with the parts of yourself that were suppressed during the relationship. What interests did you abandon? Which friendships were neglected? What dreams were put on hold? Understand that healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel strong and clear. Other days, the confusion returns, and you'll question everything again. This is normal. The trauma bond created during the relationship doesn't disappear instantly. It fades gradually as you consistently choose yourself over the pattern. Educate yourself about narcissistic behavior patterns. Knowledge truly is power in this situation. The more you understand about how narcissists operate, the less personal their behavior feels. You begin to see that you were dealing with a disordered pattern, not a unique situation caused by your inadequacy. Preparing for the Hoover. When the Hoover comes, and it likely will, you need a plan. Decide now, while you're thinking clearly, how you'll respond. Will you maintain complete no contact? Will you respond politely but firmly? Having a predetermined strategy prevents you from making emotional decisions in the moment. If you must maintain some contact due to children, shared business, or other legitimate reasons, establish strict boundaries. Communication should be brief, factual, and documented. Don't engage with emotional manipulation. Don't explain yourself, and don't seek understanding from someone incapable of providing it. Recognize the red flags when they appear. The sudden declaration of change, the promise that things will be different, the explanation that they've been in therapy and now understand everything. These are often just updated versions of the same pattern. Real change requires years of consistent effort and genuine self-awareness, neither of which happen during a brief period of silence. The final truth. The narcissist's silence isn't about your worth, your value, or your lovability. It's a reflection of their inability to maintain genuine connections. They move through life collecting experiences and people, but never truly connecting with anyone. The silence that feels so personal to you is actually the same silence they've given to others before you and will give to others after you. Your healing begins when you stop waiting for them to break the silence in a way that makes sense. It deepens when you use the silence to rediscover yourself. And it completes when you recognize that their eventual return isn't a testament to your importance to them, but rather evidence of the predictable pattern you've now learned to recognize and resist. The silence ends when you decide it ends, not when they decide to speak again. You have the power to close this chapter permanently, to build a life where this kind of treatment is unacceptable, and to choose relationships that honor your humanity. The narcissist's greatest fear is that during their calculated silence, you'll discover that you're better off without them. Make that fear a reality. Your journey forward isn't about them. It never was. It's about you reclaiming the life that was slowly stolen during the relationship. The silence gives you that chance. Use it wisely.